Brian, Trust Your Car Guy, and we are tackling frequently asked questions. If you're not familiar with my background, again, I'm Brian, Trust Your Car Guy, but I'm also Brian Trust, the owner-operator of Trust Family Auto Sales. But wait, there's more. I also own Trust Family Auto Services, which is a repair facility. I'm going to give you tips all the time, so I hope you tune into my content. But if there's anything specific you would like to know about the car business, please don't hesitate to comment, ask, so we can cater to your specific question. But the number one question I always get asked, should I buy an extended warranty? Absolutely! Yes. Purchase an extended warranty. Whether they're new vehicles or used vehicles, you did not buy a piece of because you don't take a test drive and say, oh my God, this car is so junky, I want to buy it. That's not how it happens. You buy the car because you love it, you feel it's going to serve your purpose, your family's needs, and you hope that you get the most years and miles out of that vehicle. You know, the privacy law came out back in the day, and I was still selling cars then. When you bought a pre-owned car, you had the rights to be able to call the previous owner, ask the previous owner about the maintenance and the different things. In today's world, with the privacy law, we can't even give out that information. So you never know the maintenance that was taken prior to you buying this used car. Sometimes you say, well, I can't afford an extended warranty. Isn't it sometimes easier just to pay $20 more per month and hope you never have to use it than what with $2,000 to $3,000? Because these cars are not cheap to fix today. That's why you hear about lemon law, which is a naughty word. You hear about TSBs. If you haven't been familiar with TSBs, Technical Service Bulletin. That is one stage before you hear about the recall. The recall is actually very awesome, but recall is the manufacturer telling you, hey, we've experienced a lot of technical service bulletins. It's got to the point where we need to fix your car. That's an automatic free fix for you. Take it to your local dealer. If it's a Hyundai, you take it to Hyundai, Ford, etc. So this next question for used cars, what do I feel are the most reliable brands out there? And without hesitation, Toyota and Honda. So I've been selling cars for 30 years now, and I'm gonna tell you what I usually see with the most mileage with the age is your Hondas and your Toyota, hands down. Don't get me wrong, Ford, Chevy, all those other makes and manufacturers, you guys are fantastic. And please, Ford, don't come at me. A 200,000 mile Honda Civic is equal, if not greater, than a Ford Focus with 100,000 miles. What should I look for when purchasing a used car? What are the red flags when buying a used car? I'm going to tell you firsthand how we do it here at Trust Family Auto Sales. So I'm just going to kind of go into what it takes just to get one car on my lot. And throughout those steps, that might help encourage you for questions to ask when shopping for a car elsewhere. So when I go to these cars, the first thing I do is I walk around the car for a quick cosmetics. I'll get in the car. When you start a car, instead of just starting it, for example, with the key, just turn it forward. Make sure your instrumentation lights up. And the number one thing I'm telling you to look for is that check engine light. Make sure the check engine light appears. It is illegal to remove that. That is a red flag, number one red flag. I plug the OBD machine in, I let it do its work. OBD stands for onboard diagnostic. I put the driver's window down and let the car run because I don't want to close the door and then I lock myself out. I'm not worried about the car running. I want my OBD machine back out of that car. Personally, I don't like to test drive a car until the thermostat, the temperature, has been warmed up. So while the OBD machine's hooked up, I start my process. I start walking around the car. For some reason, I always start from the driver's side fender. As I'm doing that, I check the tire tread. I'm looking over the hood, the windshield. As I progress around the driver's side, I'm just giving the car a good look over. So again, by the time I make it back around the driver's door, my OBD machine will tell me if there's anything that I need to know. Matter of fact, another important tip. When you're purchasing a car, you might not be aware of this, but your check engine light does not have to be on for that car to have codes. And that's why religiously I check the cars. Now I'm sitting in the car. If it's got a moonroof, I'm checking it. Believe it or not, I'm checking simple things like the windshield wipers. Most auctions that I go to, they have a test track. I'm running down the track. I'm coming back. If I feel good about that car, I put it on my list. Now, if I win that car, I'm on an automatic PSI. That stands for post-sale inspection. So now I'm paying that auction to inspect that car for me, and as long as there's not one item over $800, I now own that car. What's the next step? I send my drivers out there. They pick the cars up at the auction, they run it to our repair shop, they give our repair shop any feedback. The next step, we're running a lot inspection. And that's where my guys will go through it. They throw the car in a lift. So when they throw the car in a lift, they're looking for corrosion, they're looking for rust, then they're going to brakes, just the things that I can't see laying under a car. Then they'll call me and they'll say, hey Dad, you missed this one. You need to send this back to the auction. By the way, I said Dad because it is TrustFamilyAutos, and yes, my oldest Josh runs the repair shop. If we're gonna keep it, then they're gonna give me an amount of what it costs to recondition that car. Hey, we're putting a new battery, we're doing brakes, we're doing tires, whatever it needs. We're not done. Those drivers get called back, they bring it to Trust Family Auto Sales, and now it's ready for your test drives. This car's driven 3 to 4 times before you even come test drive it. So what I would recommend is if you landed on a car and you'd like to take it for a test drive, educate yourself. Ask your salesman if they have an OBD machine and if we could hook it up prior to the test drive. If they automatically say no, we don't do that here, that's red flag number 2. Now you're driving the car. Just because the car's warm doesn't mean the transmission's warm. You don't need a 3 to 5 minute test drive. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This is the second biggest purchase you're making from a home. Don't shortcut yourself. If the car feels beautiful, a lot of times just go with your gut. And if your gut's a little sketchy, I encourage you, because here at Trust Family Auto Sales, we even have you sign a form prior to purchasing this car. We encourage you to get it checked out by a third party. Ask the selling dealer, can I get the car inspected before I purchase it? If they say no, do I have to tell you? Third red flag. Walk away. Or maybe time is of the essence, there's a warranty, your gut feels good, do what you're doing. But when you ask me about frequently asked red flag questions, if there's denial, for you to ask solid questions, that's a little uncomfortable for me. Now, we'll teach you some additional tricks about buying some used cars. A lot of car dealers will advertise on the license plate the name of their dealership. Sometimes there's also a stock tag in the car that's giving you a brief description of the year, make, and model. Look for the ones that are faded. But if it's faded, it's time for them to move that car, and you could probably negotiate a fantastic deal. So thanks again. I'm Brian, your car guy. I hope you find this information informative. And remember, if you have any questions, please ask. I'm here for you.